everyone. God, that was a little too long.
That was a little too long. Jesus.
I was going to see how long I could drag it out for, but whatever.
Apparently not that long.
Yeah, nope. I do not have that lung capacity. Well, anyway, welcome to the show. We've got a great episode in store for you today. We're going to give our thoughts on some more horror films. Almost definitely some talk about Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever obscure anime game that Austin is playing this week. And our pick of the weeks. We're also going to discuss some Dead by Daylight news and some Pokemon Crown Tundra news.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we'll be sort of halfway doing our first ever spoiler cast and review discussion. It's going to be on 2018 Spider-Man in preparation for Miles Morales, which comes out in a little under a month. As always, I am your host, the obsessive and miserable Dr. Victor Frankenstein, the Bebop man, Josh McMullen, and I am joined by none other than one part of my two co-hosts. That sentence sounded better when I was writing it. One, Austin, the modern Prometheus Stevens. What's going on, man?
Where did that nickname come from?
So that's actually the subtitle for Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hang on. I need to make sure that I have this 100% correct. It's either a subtitle or like that's its alternate name. But where am I at? Her novel? Why did I look up fucking Mary Shelley instead?
Hold on real quick. I'm going to grab something from across my room that I'm a dumbass and forgot to grab before I sat down. Oh, God. Have you ever noticed that Switch cartridges leave a really nasty taste on your hand?
No, but
yeah, they do.
Weird and gross and bad.
Touch a Switch cartridge and then like put the finger that was on the cartridge to your tongue, and it'll taste really fucking. They put like a really
I remember that story. I remember that story when it was coming out in like 2017, like Game Informer or somebody ran a story like, don't touch your cartridges because they put some toxic shit on them or something.
No, they put like this non-toxic chemical coating over the cartridge. That way kids don't try to like eat that. It's supposed to, the point of it is it's supposed to taste really fucking awful. That way kids don't try to like eat it and swallow them. Like they'll spit it out because it tastes so bad. Gotcha. Look at Nintendo being smart.
I know, right? They knew that little babies would try to eat their fucking cartridges.
It's unusual for Nintendo to do a smart thing.
I don't know, man. The Switch is pretty fucking smart.
I mean, yeah, if only they just put some better games on it.
Oh, Christ. At least it's not the fucking Wii U.
Yeah, you got me. You got me there. I just wish it was more than just like ports from like 2012.
Yeah,
that I've already played on every fucking console I own.
So I just looked it up. So it was originally released in 3 volumes apparently, and it was called Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, fun times. Fun things.
Look at you teaching me things.
I know. So we are without Dylan today, as is plainly obvious by his absence in the audio feed.
Lack of laughter.
Yeah, right. We haven't killed him with laughter this so I mean, there's not much bullshitting. Why don't we just go ahead and get into what we've been doing?
Let's go
ahead and tell me. Oh man, tell me about Criminal Minds.
Oh man, I love that fucking show, dude. It's so good.
Are you watching it on Netflix?
Yeah, I'm watching it on Netflix. I was going through it and I realized that somehow I skipped like season 5 and 6. And I'm not really sure how I fucking did that and never noticed it.
Yeah.
Because I watched all the way up to season 11.
Oh my.
So yeah, I don't know how I fucking just skipped 2 whole seasons. So I'm going back and I'm watching season 5 and 6 and I was like, well, I might as well just start over. Just watch the whole thing. So that's what I'm doing. And I started over like 2 weeks ago and I'm on season 6, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I binged that fucking show. It's so good. It's very, and like you can fact
Holy
check
shit.
the show afterwards, and it's very informative.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's dude, bruh. 15 fucking seasons. It just ended this year.
Yeah, I know. I'm hope because I'm pretty sure Netflix only goes up to season 11 or 12.
Okay.
I don't think they have the last 3 seasons yet, which I really hope they fucking add soon because I would like to see them. But then again, I don't know. I know the black guy Morgan leaves at like season 9, and it was kind of hard for me to care about the show without both Reed and Morgan.
Yeah.
Because they were just probably my favorite dynamic in the show. But it's very informative about the way like different serial killers and what's the word, sociopaths like think and how they're able to rationalize what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it like that. I like the cheesy crime dramas, and I feel like Criminal Minds does a really good job at not being one of those cheesy crime dramas. You know?
Yeah, I've never really delved into it too much, but every time I've watched it, it's been like a better version of CSI.
Yeah, honestly. And I kind of had a hard time watching some of the later seasons because obviously as times go on, television networks start to kind of allow a little more here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So the show gets progressively darker, and some of the stories get progressively more brutal as the show goes on. And maybe it's because I have kids. Well, no, it's probably 100% because I have kids. But any of the shows involving like kid killers or like kid rapists and stuff, like those are really fucking hard for me to sit there and watch.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
I watched one a couple months ago, and I had to be up at 5, and I did not go to bed till 3 because I was just filled with like raging anxiety after watching that fucking episode.
Jesus.
Because it was about kids, bro. It just fucked me up. I was like checking on August every 2 fucking seconds. I was like, I think I heard a window open.
So last night our horror movie for the night was The House That Jack Built. And for the most part, it's very dude, that's a weird fucking movie, but for the most part, it's like all adults. Mm-hmm. But there's this one sequence where he kills like a family of like, it's a mom and 2 boys. Mm-hmm. And dude, when he was killing the 2 boys, it was fucking hard to watch.
Yeah, dude, anything involving kids is rough for me to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
Madison almost borderline can't even fucking do it.
Yep, I mean, rightfully so.
So, but it's a great show. I have a lot of. I watched it in high school, like with my mom, and so it's kind of nostalgic in that factor.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So,
I feel you on that.
I guess it's because I don't really have a lot to do with my mom anymore, and it's kind of like that one thing that me and my mom did together in high school.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nostalgic to me, I guess.
Cool.
But it's great. Netflix, hurry the fuck up. Add the rest. So I can binge those 3 seasons too.
So speaking of like nostalgic shows, I began going back down Digimon Adventure.
Oh boy.
It's
rough to watch as an adult, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
the stuff that was really killing me more than like almost anything else was that
how fucking stupid they were. Like every decision they made was like the worst possible decision they could have made in that scenario.
Dude, I mean, honestly, even that I can kind of explain away, like they're kids and they're trapped in a different world. So maybe they're having some sort of like anxiety or like really like their brains aren't functioning properly sort of thing.
Yeah.
The thing that was fucking killing me is the translation and fucking dub are so fucking bad, dude.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of mistranslation in that show too.
Like, it was fucking horrific. Like I watched the first episode and I got about like maybe 5 minutes in, I don't know, whenever the shit starts falling from the sky, and then Izzy's like, "Oh yeah, this is a meteor." Like, bitch, if it were a meteor, you wouldn't be alive. The fucking world would have been goddamn destroyed. Like, oh, it was killing me.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, you know, I don't think that this. I don't know that it holds up great, but I don't think that it's really bad either. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, so it for sure has some really bad shit in it that I'm just like, oh, God damn it, man. Like, the animation is literally just the characters. Everything else is just like a painted
like a still, like a still picture, like a still painting almost,
And the animation fucking kills me because it's not really all that intensive either. So it almost feels like it was like a, I don't want to say like thrown together, but like that's kind of how it feels in some places.
Well, you also got to think about the fact that the budget for that show literally pretty much strictly came from Tamagotchi sales.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, you know, they had a pretty low budget going into season 1. I think, as much as I don't really like O2 that much, O2 to me is significantly better.
Oh yeah, as far as animation goes, for sure.
And the Tamers was phenomenal. Even, I mean, the dub was still pretty bad, but
yeah,
you can see what they were going for, though.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to know a really gross fact about Digimon Adventure?
Oh God!
And I'll send you a link to the interview. But a couple years ago, a theory started kind of making its round on Reddit about the guy who was in charge of like creating the story for Adventure 1. And his original intention was for Tai and Kari to be involved in an incestuous relationship.
Oh God!
Yeah,
what?
and he admitted that in an interview. Yeah, I'll send you the link to it. It's fucking wild. But what fucks me up is that like Tai's like 12 and Kari's like 8.
Yeah, dude. Like what the actual fuck?
That's not even. Incest is one thing, but these are children, man. But you also got to remember, Japanese culture is a little different, and they don't really.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a fucking racist, but I don't know what Japan's views on incest are. I have to imagine they're pretty much the same as the rest of the fucking world.
Yeah.
But I do know the age of consent is significantly lower than ours.
Yeah. One of the things that Kayla pointed out when we watched Parasite that she didn't like, but I was like, it's probably like it's a matter of culture differences, is that like the pretty much the main character of Parasite kind of starts getting involved with a high schooler. Mm-hmm. He's definitely like college age or maybe even older. Like he should be sort of like in college or whatever, and she's like a sophomore. So like there's definitely like at least like a 5-year gap between them. And
okay, so I looked it up. The age of consent in Japan is 13.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, and I think in China, in the mainland of China, it's 14, but inside city limits of Hong Kong, it's 16.
Okay.
Which is odd, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why that would be the thing, but
I explained that to a buddy too, because like he's kind of just really getting into anime for some reason at 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, why are all these high schoolers like over sexualized? And I was like, it's a cultural difference.
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't mean you have to find it attractive. That's not really the case.
Yeah, that's on you, man. If you're
that's on you, G.
Jerking off to 8-year-olds or whatever. Oh, God damn it. Why did I say that sentence? Why did I say that?
You shouldn't have. All right. Let's just move on.
Anyway, yeah. So the point being that, like, I think some of the stuff that does hold up is, like, you really sort of immediately get a sense of who these characters are. Like, even within the first couple of episodes. And I think that that's really good. And, I mean, I'm going to run through it again, but if it's even remotely close to how I remember it being when I was like this was 99. So I was like in fifth or sixth grade.
Yeah.
So this shit was like, if it even comes close to how I remember it being, like, I'm good. So.
Yeah, it holds up and it doesn't hold up at the same time. Like, it's dated, but it's not. I think me saying it's not is mostly just nostalgia because, like, and again, it goes back to me having kids. Like, Josie's super into Digimon right now.
Yeah.
And so, like, we just finished watching Adventure 1 and we just started Adventure 2. And I can tell even it's really funny because I can tell even she doesn't like Adventure 2 as much as 1. Because every time I turn on Adventure 2, she's like, "No, Dad, I want to watch the real Digimon." I was like, "Oh, bro." But she loved the movie. She thought the movie was really cool.
Okay.
That movie's expensive now.
Like the Digimon the movie?
Yeah, just for a regular DVD, it's like $30-$40 online.
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn,
ridiculous."
That movie's terrible."
Okay. Well, with that all said, the last thing that you had made as far as content creation goes was a little playthrough for Zelda. What's this new stuff you're working on?
So I am going to delete my playthrough of Breath of the Wild because it's edited really poorly, and I think I might know what the problem was. I think that the volume in my headset was too loud.
Oh, okay.
And the gain on my mic was too high. So the echo you hear in the video is my mic picking up the picking me up through my own headset. So I think that might have been the problem, but also fuck Master Mode in Breath of the Wild. I ain't doing that shit again, dude. Fuck that. This shit was so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think tonight I'm gonna sit down and I think because I'm hot off of Cyber Sleuth, I actually finished playing it last night. I clocked in at 421 hours.
Christ.
So I finished Cyber Sleuth last night, and I think I'm gonna do a Let's Play of Hacker's Memory. I think I'm gonna do a Let's Play of the sequel.
Okay.
Because it's not necessarily, I don't know if you've played Hacker's Memory, but it's not necessarily a sequel. You can play it without having played the first one because it actually takes place alongside of the first one.
Okay.
It takes place from a different character's perspective.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
And it starts off with the main character of the game explaining that he's not necessarily the protagonist in this story. He's someone watching on the sidelines that gets involved, that gets kind of tangled in. And I don't know. I think that's a really cool perspective to have because you don't really have video games like that too often.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's fully aware he is not the protagonist in this story. Like I think there's a mission in the first Cyber Sleuth game where you take down a hacker who was being controlled by a Growlmon.
Okay.
And in Hacker's Memory, you actually fight the same hacker like 5 seconds after the character from Cyber Sleuth does.
Oh.
Or you fight the same Growlmon. You walk in as soon as he's leaving.
Interesting.
But like the Growlmon wasn't really defeated and it kind of was able to regenerate really quickly. And I thought that was really fucking cool. Yeah. So it's like a little shit like that. So I'm probably going to do a Let's Play of it. God, just so much off-screen grinding is going to have to take place though.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I don't know. There's a gimmick in both Cyber Sleuth games where there's a mega level Digimon you can get called Platinum Numemon. Okay. And its ability is it doubles the experience you gain in battle. So, and it has 3 equipment slots, and there's an item called the Tactician USB that doubles the experience your whole party gains in battle. So if you run 2 Platinum Numemon, both with 3 experience Tactician USBs, ridiculous experience points. I mean, I'm getting like, if I go back to the last area of the game for grinding, and I think I'm getting 200,000 experience points per battle.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm literally going from like level 1 to level like 85s in one fight. So probably going to have to do that to kind of take advantage of that little gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do, it's just a pain in the ass to get the tacticians. It's a fucking pain in your ass. And I'm going to have to do it all over again. But Hacker's Memory is cool. And I figured it would be really cool for me to do a Let's Play because I've never actually finished Hacker's Memory.
Oh, shit.
I always get to like the second to last chapter. I never actually finished it. So
interesting. Okay.
I'll be doing a live reaction of Hacker's Memory.
There you go.
So I don't even know. Like I know nothing about the ending. I don't know what the final boss is. I don't know anything. So that'll be cool. That'll be a cool little Let's Play. And then I think as far as other projects, I'm debating about whether or not I want to do some Crown Tundra stuff because I haven't done any of the other Pokemon games, and I'm probably not going to. I don't want to do because like I've already finished Sword. I've 100%ed Sword, and Dylan's doing Shield, so I don't want to also do Shield because that feels weird. I don't want to fucking do that. Like, I want to do something different than the content you and Dylan would do. Like, I want to be able to bring something different to the table collectively than what you guys are doing.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me on that, buddy.
Yeah, I know. You're probably going to be doing all kinds of whack shit.
All kinds of whack shit.
So, but, yeah, that's why I haven't done any, like, Dead by Daylight or anything like that, because that feels a lot more, Dylan's territory, and I don't really want to do that because he's already kind of done that.
Yeah, I feel like
but I might say fuck it, and I'm definitely going to do some Overwatch stuff as soon as I don't suck ass so bad on PC.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's hard on fucking PC. Nobody warned me. But it's fucking hard. It's way harder on PC than it is on fucking console.
Really?
Dude, yeah, because I played as my two mains the other night, and I got fucking wrecked for like 3 straight hours. Like, I play as Mei. You know how hard it is to not get a kill as fucking Mei?
Yeah.
And I didn't get a single kill playing as Mei. That means you suck. If you can't get a kill with one of the most overpowered, like, offensive characters in the game, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bitch and play Soldier on PC. Who knows? I hate people who main Soldier. Just say you only play COD and move on.
Right.
Main somebody interesting. Unless Hanzo. If it's Hanzo, then still fuck you. You're a piece of shit. I hate people who plays Hanzo. He's such a dick.
Oh, man. That's funny.
But, yeah, so far right now, that's the only plan is Hacker's Memory. I might do the Xenoblade 1 remaster because I haven't played it at all yet. I bought it in June and then just never touched it.
Yeah.
So that might, I don't know. I might do a live reaction, like a first time playthrough in a Let's Play. So we'll see. I don't know. Also depends on how fucking lazy I am. So, but that's it as far as that goes.
Cool. Well, with that said, one of the horror movies that I watched this week was, you know what? I want to talk about one of these other ones a little bit more in depth. So I'm actually going to count this one out.
Okay.
I'll just go over it briefly. It was called Ghost Stories. Mm-hmm. I think it's a really good little horror movie. It has some really cool things thematically that it says, and the end of it really ties them all together nicely. Uh-huh. And it's British, or it's from the UK. It might not be specifically British, but I think it's worth watch. So,
okay.
The two that I want to get into more intimately. The first one is The Invisible Man from this year. So this was our movie from.
Okay, I was meaning to watch that.
Yeah, dude. It came out in February, right? And it was originally. So I don't know if you remember this, but so Universal was going to do a sort of like they called it the Dark Universe. And it was going to be like a shared cinematic universe that tied all of their like the Universal monsters together, you know, Dracula, Frankenstein, blah, blah, blah. And originally, Johnny Depp was actually supposed to play the Invisible Man, but The Mummy was the first movie that got released of this new like universe or whatever. And that was the one with Tom Cruise, and it fucking flopped miserably. So development on all of it stopped, and Blumhouse came in and was like, well, you guys aren't doing anything with this, right? Why don't we do it for you? And so they hired Lee Winnell, who was the guy behind, he wrote the Saw franchise with James Wan. Mm-hmm. He also did the Insidious movies with James Wan and The Conjuring. But then he started doing, like, as James Wan was kind of like leaving, like, I think after Insidious 2, James Wan went off to do Fast 6?
Yeah.
I don't remember which Fast and the Furious movie. Regardless. So they kind of started going their separate ways. And Lee Winnell, he directed Insidious Chapter 3, which I thought was really good. It's, I don't think as good as the first two, but it's still, I really enjoy it. And then he did Upgrade in 2018, which I thought was fucking great. Like a really, really fun movie.
Hell yeah.
And then he did The Invisible Man, which came out this year. So the really, really good stuff about The Invisible Man is that basically the whole movie is sort of a metaphor for domestic abuse and like the trauma that comes from that. And I mean, that's not really spoiling, to be honest with you, because it's sort of like laid out in the trailer that that's what the movie is about. But like it informs every little decision that it makes in the movie in like multitudes of ways. Like for instance, there are scenes in the movie where Elizabeth Moss's character will look or like it'll be following Elizabeth Moss's character, and then she'll enter a room and then it'll just stay in the hallway where she just was with nothing but like blank space. Like there's nothing going on at all. And then like it'll do that. It'll hold on that for like 5, 6, 7 seconds. And then it'll cut to inside the room, or it'll travel into the room with her or whatever. And the movie is filled with those little things. And like, it's obviously a nod because the Invisible Man is like physical in this. So like it's like he could be there, he could also not be there, what's going on, sort of thing. But it's also like a nice visual metaphor for the lingering effects of trauma. Like the trauma doesn't just leave, and you may not be able to see it, but it's there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the whole movie works like that. And Elizabeth Moss she just fucking kills it. She is wonderful in this, and I love her in general. I think she's a really great actress. Kind of sucks that she's a Scientologist, but you know, whatever. But yeah, she's wonderful, and she really makes this movie work. I think if you had like a lesser actress, I'm not sure that the movie works quite as well as it does. But I don't know, man. It is probably as of right now, it's probably still my favorite movie of 2020.
Hell yeah.
And I think it's well worth the watch if you get the chance.
I'll probably check it out. I'll watch any horror movie that's not sinister. I won't watch that movie again in my lifetime.
You should.
No, I shouldn't.
Give it another shot.
The movie's fucking horrifying, and I won't do it.
That's Scott Derrickson, right? That's the guy who did God damn it, Doctor Strange, right?
Shit, I don't know. You're the fucking horror movie cinephile. You tell me.
Let's see. Yep. He also did The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which is
Fuck that movie.
That's a great fucking movie.
It's good.
Unfortunately, he did Deliver Us from Evil, and that was not very good.
I saw Sinister. So when I was in high school, I had a buddy who was quite like you. He was a horror movie cinephile.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't come over to his house and smoke unless you watched a horror movie with him because he made you do it every time.
No.
Yeah, so imagine me zonked out of my mind watching Sinister of all fucking movies and losing my fucking brain.
Yeah.
That shit scared the absolute fuck out of me. And even sober the next day, I was like, yo, fuck that movie, dude. I ain't watching that shit again, bro. I watched Insidious 20 times before I watched that movie fucking again.
Yeah.
So then we went and saw Sinister 2 in theaters because it came out later that year.
Oh.
And I screamed so loud at the end of that movie and I yelled so hard that I literally jumped out of my seat and into my buddy Johnny's lap, who was sat next to me. And he was like, he was just kind of like, it's okay, buddy. We all get scared. He was like, it's okay to be a baby. We understand.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't watch these fucking movies. I don't go out of my way. I have nothing against the horror genre. I enjoy a good horror movie every now and then.
Yeah.
But they're not something that I really always go out of my way to watch.
Yeah.
So I get freaked out very easily by them. We the same group of friends, we saw Unfriended in theaters when it came out.
Oh, Lord.
That movie's not scary at all. I actually think that it's a terrible movie.
What?
I thought it was bad.
Is maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Unfriended is the one where it's like it's from the point of view of like a FaceTime the entire time.
Yeah, they're all like Skyping or whatever. Right?
Yeah. I thought that was a bad movie.
I kind of like that movie.
And it wasn't dumb short because it felt like that shit was only like an hour long.
I mean, probably a lot of those like really like easy to make. Oh, I don't want to say easy to make because that's unfair. But like those little like,
but easy to make.
Those little like computer horror movies or whatever. They're all relatively short.
We saw that movie and then we got out of the theater. We smoked on the way back to my buddy's house. And we snuck into his basement because we weren't going to go, because we were still in fucking high school. We weren't going to go upstairs because his family was asleep and we'd wake him up or whatever. And he lived in the basement. He had pretty much like a basement apartment.
Okay.
And so we snuck in through the basement and he was going to boot up his computer. He did not tell me that he was turning on his computer. And he did not tell me that there was a lag on his computer. Because he hit the power button. I was on my phone, not paying attention. He went to go to the bathroom. And then all of a sudden, all these fucking lights come on. And I'm already high. And I was like, oh. And we had just watched Unfriended. And I was like, oh, shit, bro. Like, I'm finna die. And I just remember being so fucking freaked out for like a solid 5 minutes. And he came out of the bathroom because he heard me. He was like, dude, what? What happened? I was like, your fucking computer turned off by itself. He's like, no, it didn't, you fucking idiot. I just turned it on. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, you probably right.
You probably right.
But yeah, I'm not gonna say I don't do well with horror movies. I just don't watch them enough that I get spooked very easily.
Yeah, I feel
jump scares are not a thing for me. I don't appreciate them. They get me every fucking time. Like when I saw the fucking Nun, I don't appreciate them.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, how about you go ahead and tell me, since things are so scary, why don't you tell me about... That was gross. I apologize. About Code Geass.
Wow, I'm surprised you pronounced it correctly.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
No,
you know what
I know some anime stuff. I can talk big anime.
Have you ever heard of that show before?
I have heard of it, but I've never watched it.
So I think that Code Geass is probably the best anime to come out of the year 2008.
Okay.
It's a really good show, and
I'm looking at it right now. I really like the art style.
Oh, dude, don't tell Madison that. She fucking hates the art style.
Really?
Yeah, she hates that show. She won't watch it. She even told me that she thinks she would like it story-wise if she watched it, and she still won't watch it.
Oh god.
Which doesn't make any sense.
She's allowed to be wrong.
But basically the whole premise of the show is the entire Western Hemisphere pretty much formed a one government system, and they called it the Empire of Britannia. And one of the children of the emperor, because he's a fucking emperor, he's got like 30 fucking kids with like 30 different baby mamas. That's just how that shit worked. And basically the main character is his son, and him, his sister, and his mom were attacked by terrorists when they were children. It killed his mom, shot his sister in the spine, which paralyzed her from the waist down. And because of the trauma she witnessed, she had temporary blindness that was caused by basically PTSD.
Oh, shit.
So she's paralyzed and blind. And he gets mad at his dad. He was like, you had to have known this was going to happen, and you didn't do anything to protect them. And he kind of got up in his dad's face about it when he was like 10 years old. And his dad was like, all right, you want to be a bitch about it? I'm going to ship you off to another country. I'm going to you. He pretty much was like, he was like, the only worth your sister is to me now that she has no chance of claiming the throne as a bargaining chip.
Jesus.
So he sends the main character, Lelouch, who is amazingly voiced by Johnny Young Bosch, who does a lot of really good fucking work. But he ships them off to Japan and doesn't tell them that about 2 years after he ships them off to Japan, he actually wages war on Japan to conquer it as a territory. They rename it Area 11, and a couple years go by. He's in high school. His sister's a little older, and he basically gets wrapped up in a terrorist attack against the Empire of Britannia, and it's Japanese trying to take back their country. A bunch of wild, crazy shit happens that I don't really know how to explain all that well. And he ends up meeting a woman who is she's immortal, pretty much. She's basically a witch that's lived for like 400 plus years. And she gives him a power called Gios. And she's given it to multiple people. You meet other people in the show that have it as more or less antagonists. I don't think there's another single character that has it who isn't like a villain to the main character. But basically, each person that receives the power, it's different. The power is depending on what that person desires. So, like, there's one character at the end of the series who his version of the power allows him to see 10 seconds into the future. But each version of the power has a drawback. Like, it has some kind of limit, pretty much.
Okay.
Like the guy who sees the future, like it really hurts his eyes. It hurts the shit out of his eye. So he like pretty much staples his eyes shut so it doesn't activate.
Interesting.
There's one character you meet kind of halfway through season 1, and he has the ability to read people's minds. And the more you use the power, the more powerful it gets. And so because he's been doing it for so long, he actually can't turn his power off. It's just constantly on. So he's kind of stuck in this hell of always hearing people's thoughts and not being able to turn it off. And it kind of drives him mentally unstable, as you kind of think that it would.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, babe. Sorry, Madison just brought me some food. But the main character, Lelouch, his power is he can command any person to follow any one order that he gives them. His only drawback is it has to be direct eye contact, and he can only use it on one person one single time. He can't use it on them again after that, no matter how long it's been. And he basically uses this power to infiltrate a terrorist network and actually become the leader of that terrorist network to wage war on his father's empire. And the entire first season is him pretty much going around killing his brothers and sisters.
That's interesting.
And it's a really dark show, and you kind of get the feeling that his character reminds me of the dude from fucking Death Note.
Light?
Yeah, like he had good ambitions, but he started to get a little power crazy with it. Like he became very narcissistic and egotistical.
Okay, I feel you.
And pretty much by the end of the series, he ends up using this terrorist network that grows exponentially, and he ends up conquering the entire world, pretty much, so to speak. Conquers the entire world under fear, and then starts doing a bunch of really fucked up shit to make everyone in the world pretty much hate him. And then he has somebody kill him. So all of the evil and hatred in the world is focused on him. He thinks that by having someone kill him, it can help move the world forward with like peace and discussion over war and violence. So he starts out really fucked up, but at the end of the day, he had a pretty good goal in mind. He just killed a lot of people to do it.
Oh, okay.
But it's a good show. Just check it out sometime. I've seen it way too many times.
Yeah,
and
that actually sounds like something Dylan might be into.
Oh God, he watches Sword Art Online, so probably. But a little cool side note: the main character's childhood best friend, who is kind of against him for the entire series, is actually voiced by the guy who voices the protagonist of the game we're going to be talking about today.
Ooh, shit.
He's an incredible fucking voice actor.
I think so too.
He also does Sasuke and Naruto, and that kind of sucks, but
yeah, it's what it is.
I like Naruto, but I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to get started on that.
It's just too long, bro.
So goddamn long. It's like One Piece, but One Piece is actually longer, but
One Piece is like twice as fucking long, and I hate that dumbass show. I fucking hate that show so much. It's so bad. I don't get how anybody fucking likes that shit.
I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. So my last thing, and this I actually rewatched after you decided to have a dumbass opinion about it. And that is John Carpenter's 1978 classic Halloween.
Hold on. I never had a dumbass opinion about it.
You did. Okay, hang
what?
on. You had a real dumbass opinion about it. You said, and I quote, well, I mean,
I said it was poorly edited.
But it's a bad movie. Those were your words.
It's a poorly edited movie. No, that doesn't mean it's bad.
No, it is not, man. All right, here.
Dude, the first kill he makes, her eyes are open. She blinked.
Bro. Yeah?
When he chokes that bitch out in the car, she fucking blinked.
Yeah, she's... Oh, God. I hate you so much.
She blinked.
Dude, she doesn't die immediately. Like, he's choking her the fuck out, and then he has to fucking stab her, and then you don't... it's not like her eyes, like, fucking... stay open or whatever.
You're talking about the chick in the car, right? Yeah, he's in the back seat and he strangles it.
Her head slides down on the fucking steering
and he gets out of the car. He gets out of the car and it pans to the window. And when it pans to the window, she fucking blinked.
Bro.
She's already dead.
You must be making some shit up because that doesn't happen.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch the movie. Maybe I'm remembering it different.
Yeah, because the thing that happens is you see her head like slide down on the steering wheel, and then like it cuts to the outside, and the car horn is going off, and then it cuts back inside, and he lifts her head up, and then the horn stops, and it cuts back outside.
Okay, or maybe all right. You know what? Just for you, I'm gonna give the movie a rewatch.
All right.
Because it's been like 2 or 3 years since I've seen the movie. So maybe I'm remembering it differently.
Okay.
So, or I'll just look the fucking scene up on YouTube after this. But
do it.
Okay. It's not a bad movie. It's a good fucking movie. I just think today's standards, it's hard to watch.
I don't think it is at all. I think this is one of those movies that I think completely 100% holds up. Like,
really?
Okay. All right. To me, this is a movie that does not, like, there are obvious things that are dated. Like, no one exactly has fucking, like, house phones anymore. Everyone just uses their fucking cell phone.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. You know what I mean? Or,
those are like the obvious things.
Yeah, like, the obvious shit. Like, well, even Halloween to an extent. Like, nobody really fucking goes trick-or-treating anymore. Like, it just... They do. No, hang on. Hear me out. They do, but they go to like the mall. You know what I mean? Like I almost like.
I don't know about that one, sir. I take my kids every year.
Well, I mean, maybe it's different for you, but like me and Kayla have been living in this particular like townhome for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, it for sure is 2 years because we moved in the May after we started dating, so it would have been the May of 2018.
I thought you guys have been together longer than that.
Well, we started dating in March of 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, anyway, so we've been living here for 2 years, almost 3, and there are definitely kids in our neighborhood. None of them have come to knock on our door. And admittedly, we're like a small neighborhood or whatever, but like in the 2 years we've been here, that has never happened, not once.
That's crazy.
And when when I lived in the apartment complex by myself, I actually lived in 2 apartment complexes by myself. Never fucking happened. No one came and knocked on our doors.
That's so weird.
But when I was working at the mall, people took their fucking kids to the mall. That's what happened. That's how they trick or treated. It wasn't like going from house to house anymore. So,
what mall did you work at?
I worked at the outlets up in Dawsonville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
maybe that's just because I don't know. Maybe that's just because I've never really seen somebody trick or treating in like a townhome neighborhood or like an apartment complex.
Yeah. So maybe there is that, and like I've never really lived in like a actual like neighborhood.
I just find the richest neighborhood close by, and I take my kids there because they get out. There's a place called the Preserves in Flowery Branch. That's where I take them every year because we get fucking loaded. There's always some dude out there too that has treats for adults.
Oh, nice.
And it's apple cider and vodka. Oh, he does it every fucking year.
Well, I'm gonna go to that guy's house.
Honestly, although I don't think anyone's trick or treating this year.
Yeah, no, probably. Which
kind of sucks. I'm really upset about that, but I get it.
Yeah, same. And well, anyway, so yeah, like with the obvious exception of stuff that was like in the 70s and is just not around anymore. Yeah. I think Halloween is one of the few movies that completely holds the fuck up. There aren't references that date it. Like, I mean, there I guess kind of is with like the use of "Don't Fear the Reaper" in the music, but I mean, that's a classic rock song now, and everybody knows it. If they don't know it as a classic rock song, they know it as like the fucking stupid ass sketch from SNL, the More Cowbell sketch.
I love that song. And you're talking about the song by Blue Oyster Cult?
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good song. So there aren't a whole lot of things that date it. And the performances from almost literally everybody in the movie is great. The only ones that I would maybe take exception to are the children. I don't know that the children are exceptionally good, but I mean, they're in it so little that it's like
it almost doesn't even matter.
Yeah, exactly. And they kind of just act like kids. Like they're not asked to do too much.
Yeah, which is fun.
I don't know, man. Like every fucking time I watch this movie, it's my. I don't know if I stated this before. I am a little bit biased. It's my favorite horror movie of all time.
Yeah,
but I think that all these things that I'm saying about it is what makes it my favorite. Like, I'm not going to go too in depth with like analysis and shit like that because I do plan on making a video about this movie.
Okay.
But there are so many really great and interesting things in this movie. I think it is wonderfully shot. Like, I mean, John Carpenter is probably my favorite horror director. I think that every single one of his movies just looks beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
The dude knows how to fucking like use the camera. Like he just really does.
Yeah.
I think the music is fucking great. I think that, like I said, most of the performances are really great. There's just nothing in this movie that I think really is bad to me.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's fair. And it is. I do think it's a fantastic movie. Other than that one issue I had that I'm remembering differently.
I promise you are.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give it another watch, and I'll figure that out. But it is probably my favorite horror movie that I've ever fucking seen. Well, really, I don't know. I guess more of a slasher film. I don't know. It's not really a scary movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure in its time, in its original time of release, I'm sure it was a fucking terrifying movie, but nowadays probably not so much. We've seen way fucking worse than that movie. But it's a great movie. I think the 2018 sequel was that movie was fucking fantastic. I think that movie's great.
The 2018 one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of a single gripe that I really have with that film.
I have some problems with that movie, but
what are some of your issues with that movie?
I don't really want to go into it either, because that'll be like another like.
Okay, all right.
But my biggest one is the writing. I don't think that the writing is as tight as it could be.
Really,
and I think that the whole conceit of getting Michael and Laurie to sort of meet is really contrived, and I think that it is like one of the worst quote unquote twists in any horror movie I've ever watched. I think it is actually fucking bad.
Really?
But it doesn't take away from the overall experience for me. Like if I had to like rate it on like a scale, like a 10-point scale or whatever, I'd probably put it somewhere in like the 8 range.
Yeah.
I still think it's really good and I enjoy the hell out of it, but like the writing in it I don't think is as strong as it could be.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
Plus, I mean, so I've been listening to this podcast that is like they take these. They started with Halloween and then they moved on to Nightmare and now they're doing Friday the 13th. But they basically do one gigantic like 3 or 4 hour long podcast on one specific movie within a franchise once a month, sort of thing.
Yeah,
and. I was listening to them, and now that like I kind of see it, or now that they said it, I kind of see it. The plot for 2018 they kind of did in 98 with H2O.
Mm-hmm.
So even on that front, like it's less original. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I like the movie. I have my problems with it, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I feel that.
All right. Well, you've been reading manga. What you've been reading?
Boy, what haven't I been trying to fucking read? Honestly, I kind of started reading Demon Slayer again. Demon Slayer is fucking fantastic. I would almost rather read it at this point than watch the anime. I was reading Boruto. I stopped reading Boruto because it got really fucking bad, and I don't give a shit what anyone says. That was a cash grab, and it should have never fucking happened. I mean, honestly, it would have been cool for like a 1-movie spinoff, and that's fucking it. The rest of it is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And even people are saying like, first of all, I think it's absolutely fucking asinine that the second chapter of the manga doesn't fucking start until episode 78. That's ridiculous. It took 78 episodes worth of fucking plot filler bullshit, and nobody fucking gave a shit about for them to get to the second chapter of the manga.
Yeah.
By that point, nobody cares, dog. Nobody cares anymore at that fucking point. But that aside, people defend the anime. They're like, well, the manga's good, bro. Just wait till it gets to the manga. No, even the manga is also shit. So this is just going to be worse. And it was a fucking cash grab that should have never fucking happened. But there are some other really good shonen animes that are not getting treated like such shit, like My Hero. The My Hero manga is popping the fuck off right now.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate that there are a lot of mangas that do one chapter a month. Chapter is like 15 pages, and I'm waiting a month every fucking chapter. But My Hero's doing it a little bit differently. They're actually releasing a chapter every Sunday.
Okay.
So, and I use I guess unsponsored plug, but I use the Shonen Jump app to read all my manga, and it's $1 a month, and they have every manga that Shonen Jump has ever done.
Oh,
they do regular releases. They have Demon Slayer, they have Boruto, they have My Hero, they have the new Dragon Ball manga that's releasing. I mean, they're fucking fantastic. And for $1 a month, like, what the fuck are you missing? $1? You know what I mean? To read all these translated mangas for literally $1 a month. But yeah, that's honestly the best one I've been reading so far is My Hero. My Hero's popping the fuck off right now. I'm really excited to see what's going on in the manga right now be animated. I think you should start that show because I think it's a fantastic show. It is a little cringy at times, though. I'm not going to lie. The dialogue is a little rough.
Yeah.
But
I haven't had a chance to watch it, but yeah.
It's good. But that's pretty much it.
Cool.
That's all I've been up to, dog.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and transition over to our topic of...
Hell yeah.
2018 was a gigantic year for games. Between the heavy-hitting stories of Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War, the narrative front was covered. There were also 2 gigantic collectathon checklist-type games in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Far Cry 5. Indie games flourished with wonderful little titles like Dead Cells and Celeste being amongst big AAA titles for Game of the Year. And that's not even mentioning the really fantastic Tetris Ultimate, the addictive madness of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Wait, did I say Tetris Ultimate? I meant Tetris.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Or the impeccable looking racer Forza Horizon 4. All those were fantastic games, but for me personally, and I think, I don't remember if you shared this opinion or if it was Dylan, there was one game that just hit different that year, and it was Insomniac's open world superhero title, Marvel's Spider-Man.
I think it was me. Spider-Man was undoubtedly my favorite game of 2018.
Same.
It was so good, dude.
So
I'm replaying it right now.
Ooh, shit.
Not like currently at this moment, but
yeah.
That's the game I'm trying to currently play through.
With our third chair out this weekend, or this week, I should say, and with Spider-Man Miles Morales right around the corner, we thought it would be a good idea to do a little bit of a deep dive on the 2018 classic. So that's what we plan on doing for you. I have this set up in a structure. Like I went through and did like little story beats. We don't have to go through those beat by beat. I more or less just want to get our impressions on everything, and I wrote the beats down on just to kind of give us a refresher.
Yeah.
But I want to start with your overall impressions of the game.
My overall impressions. So, I'm pretty sure the beginning of the year, 2018, that was actually the first time I ever purchased a PS4.
Okay.
And then I saw that Insomniac was, working on a Spider-Man title, and I was intrigued. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite. He's not my favorite superhero in general, but he's definitely my favorite Marvel superhero in general.
Yeah.
As far as superheroes goes, as fucking basic as I feel like it is, Batman is by far my favorite, just because of how psychological and how deep some of his stories get.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we'll do a deep dive of Arkham eventually. Probably not. It's too old at this point. Nobody cares anymore. But so when I saw they were doing Spider-Man, I was like, oh shit, like I bet that's going to be really good. And then my PS4 broke, So I didn't. It broke like July of that year, and it took me until December to get a new one because I bought one off of a homie, and that's the first game I picked up was Spider-Man, and I was like, okay, I got 2 weeks because I was working at the same place that I am now, and we actually get the last week of December and the first week of January paid off. Like that's just a company thing. Like we just get that because that's when they do like all the big maintenance on all the machines and stuff. So I spent the entire 2 weeks playing through Spider-Man, and it's one of the. I had so much fun in that game. I hadn't had fun in a single player game like that in a long time, and I have to give that game credit for actually bringing me back to single player games. Everything about it was phenomenal to me. The voice acting I think was done really fucking well. I like how original the story was. It wasn't because I kind of was worried that they were just gonna take from this story and this story and this story and this story and mash it up into one incoherent plot. But they didn't. It was a completely original story with all these characters that we were already accustomed to and we've been accustomed to for years. And I thought that was really refreshing. And yeah, the Arkham games did the same thing, but a lot of what happened in every Arkham game is pulled from all these different Batman stories and being coherently or sometimes incoherently meshed into one narrative. And that's not what happened with Spider-Man. And I think that's why I appreciated the game as much as I did and why I still appreciate the game as much as I do. Like I said, I'm replaying it right now. The only issue I really have with the games is I'm not a fan of the Mary Jane and Miles sections. I just don't care about it. I don't fucking care about it at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I get why they're there, but it's not something I enjoy. But you were saying something, going?
Oh no, I was just saying I don't find those sections as egregious as a lot of people did.
Yeah.
A lot of people really fucking hated them, and I didn't mind them all that much, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. And that's fair.
I think that they're fine. I don't think that they are as good as the Spidey stuff, but I also just don't think that they're as bad as a lot of people make them out to be. Because I remember reading reviews and like hearing shit online from people that was like, yeah, these are so out of place and blah, blah, blah. And admittedly, they are a little bit out of place compared to like what you're doing as Spidey, because they're like Mary Jane's and, well, actually, Miles also. Both of theirs are more kind of like stealth based, and like, I think you have a couple of those. God, I'm trying to think of words right now. I think you have a couple of those game sections in Peter's storyline, but they're not as like I mean,
they're not
Mary Jane.
They're not as prominent.
Yeah, exactly. And
I see what you're saying.
I think that's where a lot of people really got upset with them about is like that's what they are. There's nothing else to their gameplay other than, you know,
I see that. I definitely see that.
Different types of gameplay. So, you know, but with that all said, I think that the game is fantastic. It was my favorite game of 2018. I don't know that I really have any problems with it whatsoever. If I'm being honest, I don't think that I do. I think it was, I really do. It was my favorite game of 2018. And I can't think of really right now off the top of my head, like while I'm going back through like my time playing with it, I don't think that there was a whole lot that I disliked about it.
I think the only thing I disliked were some of the like some of the challenge missions were kind of obnoxious to try to get the highest score on.
Okay, yeah. I feel you.
What else? There was something else that I fucking hated about the
I
game.
do think that the who was it? I think it might have been Taskmaster.
Yeah,
Some of his little side missions definitely annoyed the piss out of me.
yeah. Those are the ones I was talking about.
But
Were the Taskmaster ones? They were fucking obnoxious.
yeah,
But other than that, dude, I don't really. I don't want to say it's a perfect game, but fuck, dude, it's kind of close.
yeah. I
Honestly, it's kind of fucking close. It's really hard for me to think of something I disliked about that title.
yeah, I agree. So with that said, why don't we? I mean, we'll go ahead and we'll get into the characters because they're really the biggest part of this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Peter Parker, we know and love from the comics and the movies and shit, but he was played in this game by, you alluded to this earlier, Yuri Lowenthal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fantastic fucking voice actor, dude.
I had not honestly known of him before this, if I'm being completely
Really?
Yeah. So
Damn.
this was the first time I had ever like heard him in anything, and I think he is wonderful.
Oh, dude, absolutely. He is absolutely wonderful. He's a fantastic fucking voice actor. He always does such a good job at really like making you. He puts a lot of emotion behind his voice. Like you really feel the atmosphere of the scene that he's in because of how much emotion he puts behind his voice. And there aren't really a lot of voice actors in gaming and anime that do that.
Yeah, I agree.
So in the rare times that we get that, it's fucking appreciated. But
yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I think by far was my favorite character in the game. And that I don't want to say that is taking away from the other characters by any means, because I think the other characters we'll get into in just a second are equally as great. But Yuri Lowenthal's performance really endeared me to Peter a lot.
Oh yeah,
and really, what's the? I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it, but really, I guess, like, got me emotionally invested into the story. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'm not sure that I would have, otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the heroine, or I guess the second lead of the game, was Mary Jane, obviously, and she was performed by Laura Bailey, who is a very well-known and respected.
Why does that name sound so familiar? What else has she done?
She's in every fucking thing. She was in, who was she in Last of Us Part 2? Abby. That's who she was.
Oh, okay.
But she, God damn it, she's in like literally everything, man. Let me pull up her IMDb real quick, because I'm not shitting you. She's in literally everything.
Yeah,
video game related.
I'm looking it up too.
So she was Kate in Gears 5. Oh yeah, she's Black Widow in the new Avengers game.
Okay, I hear it.
And yeah, she did Catherine and Catherine Full Body. I wonder if she was in the original one. Huh. That's got me wondering now. Anyway, yeah, so she's in like a ton of shit.
Yeah.
I thought she was fine. The thing about Laura Bailey is, and I've said this about Troy Baker, is I think they are good. I think they're overrated, and I don't need to see them in every fucking thing.
Who the fuck did she play in Naruto?
No fucking clue. Like,
oh shit. Okay. That's where, okay. She played Naruto's mom.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know that. That's really fucking cool. Huh. And Wow, she actually has been in a lot of fucking anime now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, she's in a ton of fucking anime.
That's really fucking cool.
So, with that said, I don't think that there's anything especially particularly amazing about her performance or the character in general. Like,
Yeah.
to me, just feels like a Mary Jane, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I like her, and I really liked the sort of adult take. We didn't talk about this with Peter, but the sort of more like mid-20s sort of flavor that both of these characters had going on. Like,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the game, it said that like Peter had been Spider-Man for 8 years at this point. So I really liked the idea of having these characters be a little bit older than like teenage Peter Parker and teenage Mary Jane, because I feel like we've seen that a billion fucking times before.
Mm-hmm.
So the next character I got written down was Aunt May, who was played by Nancy Linari. I don't have much to say about her other than I think that her story and how it ties in with Peter's is a really wonderful little like emotional through line throughout the entire game. And Nancy Linari, I hope I'm saying that right, does a really serviceable job in getting you to feel that particular way.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking at the list of voice actors for the game right now, and not too many are familiar. Now that you mention it, Laura Bailey is dumb fucking familiar because she is in everything I've ever fucking watched, it feels like. I actually just noticed she actually plays 2 characters in Code Geass.
Oh, interesting.
She was in the Boruto movie. She played Supergirl in Injustice 2. Holy shit, she is literally in everything.
Yeah.
She's like the fucking Mark Hamill of anime and video games. That's also, I just want to point out, she was 15 different characters in the 2017 Spider-Man TV series.
Oh, holy shit.
That's fucking ridiculous.
That is a little ridiculous.
But I have to, give props to fucking Insomniac because they did a super good job. I don't really feel like there was a single character in the game whose voice was misplaced.
Yes, I agree.
I think, I don't know. Maybe Norman Osborn. I didn't really. I feel like we saw so little of him in that game. It's kind of hard to really judge that.
Yeah, agreed. So the last 3 on here are probably, I guess, the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
William Sailors was daughter. Dr. Otto Octavius, or Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Stephen O'Young as Martin Lee, and Travis Willingham as Wilson Fisk, or Kingpin. I don't want to say much about him because he's not really in the game all that much outside of like the first.
Yeah, and a phone call here and there.
Yeah. So, and he's fine. I think Travis Willingham is a good actor. But Stephen O'Young and William Sailors, I think, are really, really good, especially Doc Ock.
Oh, yeah.
I think that his performance is really, really fucking something special. And just like Nancy Linari with Aunt May, I think really ties into the emotional narrative for Peter a lot. And yeah, I really like him. I really fucking like him.
When I played through the game the first time, I was surprised at myself that I went in with no spoilers whatsoever. And the game had already been out for like 2 months at that point, so I was surprised I was able to do that.
Yeah, sure.
I was not expecting that ending.
Yeah.
Did not see that shit coming at all.
Which is really interesting considering, we didn't say spoiler alert, but I mean, this is a review discussion sort of thing and spoiler cast. So
yeah, so
here's a warning now.
Along, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't really know what you thought listening to this, but
so the weird thing for me was like I knew at some point he was going to become Doc Ock, right?
Yeah, of course.
I just didn't know that it was going to happen in this game because the way that they build up the relationship between him and Peter, it really is like a nice little like mentor-mentee sort of deal.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
I really didn't think that they would pull the rug out from underneath us like that and have him be, you know, that fucking guy. You know,
I don't think a lot of people saw that coming.
yeah. So I don't know, man. Like we can go ahead and I guess kind of go over the story a little bit. But basically, as a quick rundown, Peter takes down Kingpin, who is kind of like the criminal or whatever.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Kingpin is, as he's put away, he kind of warns Peter that there's something else out there. They find out that it's this guy, this band of people known as the Demons, who's led by Dr. Negative. They're searching for something called Devil's Breath, which ends up being a sort of virus. And they basically shut the city down, and Sable has come in, and they're sort of a paramilitary security force, and they're supposed to bring everything under control, but that doesn't happen. And so eventually Spidey stops Lee and grabs the virus or whatever, and the Devil's Breath virus is stolen again, but Spidey can't get to it because there's a breakout of Rikers Island, and he has to help contain that. And he finds out that Doc Ock, after all of this, like throughout the game, every little interaction you have with Doc Ock is like this nice little sort of father-son relationship sort of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out that like he is the one who started the outbreak or the riots or whatever.
Yeah.
He has actually broken out, you know, the Sinister Six or whatever. And so then the rest of the game, you're sort of like fighting against time to kind of find a cure for the Devil's Breath. And you're also trying to defeat the Sinister Six. And then it ends with this rooftop battle between Spidey and Doc Ock. And the two threads that, I mean, so there's the nice little stuff between Officer Davis, I think is his name, if I remember correct.
Jefferson Davis.
Yeah, so between him and Peter, that whole little mission right before you meet Miles and Officer Davis dies.
Yeah.
And that has a little bit of weight that carries on Peter because, you know, the whole responsibility angle. But the two through lines for me across everything, even though like Mary Jane is like the love interest and blah, 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 the two through lines are for sure the relationship between Peter and Dr. Ock and Peter and Aunt May.
Yeah.
And those are the two that really hit me emotionally the hardest. Especially, I don't usually cry in games, but like I really, really got like heartbroken at the end when Peter is forced to make the decision between trying to save Aunt May with what is a very limited amount of the virus and the responsibility he has for the city of New York and how he has to come to that decision. And I'll be fucking honest, man. I cried like a little fucking baby.
Oh, hell yeah. I did too.
Like,
I played through the game twice and so far, and I've cried both times.
Yeah. So
I'll probably cry the third time.
Right.
You know, it's fucking heartbreaking. Because you could really, and it all goes back to Yuri being a phenomenal voice actor. Like you could really hear he did such a good job at bringing the pain in his voice.
Yes, I agree with that.
And the same thing for the voice actress that played Aunt May. You could hear the love and endurance in her voice in that scene. When he's trying to decide whether he's going to plug the bottle up to her IV, and she says, take your mask off. I want to see my nephew one last time. And I was like, oh god damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you could, and it was so good. Just they both brought so much to that fucking scene that I don't know that any other voice actor and voice actors would have been able to do that scene justice the way that they did.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And to be honest with you, I kind of feel very similarly about Doc Ock and Spidey. Like,
yeah,
the end where they're fighting, and you kind of understand that, like, this is Octavius, this is Otto, but it's also like a different version of him because of the neural network and the arms.
Yeah.
So like it's him, but it's not him. And there's that sort of like moment where at the end where he kind of breaks down with Peter and it's like, listen, it's me. Like you got to help me sort of thing. And that really fucking got to me also. Mm-hmm. And I think that is definitely due to like you were saying, Yuri Lowenthal and William Saylor's fucking voice acting. Like they're phenomenal.
Oh yeah, by far.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Boy. So yeah. I mean, is there anything in particular you want to say about the story? We ran through it pretty quickly, but
yeah, we did. Dude, the only thing I can say about that story is if you haven't played it yet and you own a PlayStation, I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. It's a really fucking great game.
Honestly, I would go as far as to say that not only was that game my favorite game of 2018, I think that is a staple of this current generation.
I agree. I
think it's right up there with exclusives like although I'm not a big fan, it's right up there with The Last of Us. Last of Us came out on PS3, but like Part 2. It's right up there with The Last of Us Part 2 and God of War. Like they are staples of this current generation.
Yeah, I agree.
Those are the games that. I also didn't finish God of War, and I'm probably not ever going to. But it's hard to imagine what this current generation would have been like without those games, because I genuinely feel like as far as PlayStation goes, that's what made this generation were those games. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how anyone's not played it. It's so fucking good. And I am so excited for Miles Morales. They keep dropping little images of some of the new suits that are going to be available, and they all look fucking phenomenal. And I know that it's not a full-length game. I'm well aware of that. But I'm still excited for it nonetheless. And I still coming off of 2018 Spider-Man, I don't know where they would go in the story from this point. The only thing I know that I want from a Spider-Man sequel is I want more Miles Morales. I want to see Venom, and I want to see the Green Goblin, because I think Insomniac could really do those two characters justice.
Yeah, agreed.
In ways that Spider-Man games I don't feel like have yet.
Yeah, I agree with that. The last thing we should probably cover is like the gameplay, and I've got 4 little bullet points down here, but the first one is something that kind of ties together with the side missions, which is the last one that I had put on the docket or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the sort of like checklisty type of like Ubisoft gameplay. I personally fucking love that shit. Like when I go to play a Far Cry or an Assassin's Creed, which I haven't in years, but like when I go to play one of those types of games, like I love ticking boxes off the checklist. You know what I mean?
It's hit or miss for me.
Okay.
It depends on the game, really.
So if I had to level one gripe with the game, like one significant gripe with the game, it would be that some of the checklisty stuff gets really repetitive, and that's
it does.
Like there's only, and this is really where the side mission stuff comes in. There's only really a handful of variations on what you're supposed to do, and even then, the variations are sort of, I mean, they're like just a new coat of paint on the same thing, if that makes sense. So, like,
oh no, I agree.
At the beginning of the game, obviously, you have to chase a certain number of criminals down within a district, and then once Sable comes in, it's sort of the same thing, but like now they added in like that it's like Sable officers or whatever, or when the convicts escape, it's the same fucking thing, but now it's convicts doing it. So like I liked doing those things and it didn't bother me, but if I had to level a criticism, it is repetitive. It's just the same thing again and again and again. So
they're all the same type of enemies, just in different clothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, at the end of the fucking day.
Exactly.
And even then, I felt like a lot of the boss fights were pretty repetitive because it all, most of the boss fights, just with the exception of like Shocker and Shocker, Electro and Vulture, because I think theirs were noticeably fucking different than the rest of them.
Yeah, that's the one where you have to fight the both of them together, right? And it's in the sky.
Yeah, you got to do it like aerial, and I thought that boss fight was incredible. But even Scorpion and Rhino, like a lot of the boss fights in the game were pretty much web him up, swing to him, beat the shit out of him, dodge. Web him up, swing to him, beat the shit out of him, dodge.
Yeah.
And Taskmaster is guilty of the same shit. It's dodge, web shooters, swing to him, attack, dodge. Like it's this, and that was kind of my biggest gripe in the game, is I felt like some of those boss fights could have done more with the characters that they had to work with. Like they could have done some cool fucking shit with Rhino.
Yeah.
But no, I guess they kind of did, because with Rhino, you pretty much had to lure him to a certain spot and like pull shit down on top of him.
Yeah. Like you had to get him to like get shit to crash on top of him.
Yeah. And that was the only way you could deal damage to him. And then, but Scorpion, from what I can remember, is pretty much the same rinse and repeat cycle that every other boss was.
Yeah.
Even Doc Ock was guilty of the same shit.
Yeah, Doc Ock is, I feel like, a little bit more involved because he's able to do multiple different things, whereas a lot of the other... and it's also the final boss of the game, and it's meant to be this really impactful and like cinematic moment. So, and like you said, if I had to give the game some criticism, it's probably, I feel like some of the boss fights could have been handled better. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe they fixed that in Miles Morales. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. Since we're talking about the boss fights, how did you feel about the combat system?
It was a copy and paste from Rocksteady.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. It was much.
It felt very similar to all the fucking Arkham titles and all the fucking degenerate Xbox diehard fanboys use that as a fucking crutch. Well, why would I play Spider-Man when I can play Batman? Because it's the same combat system. Fucking stupid. Yeah, I know. And I'm saying that, and I do love my Xbox more than the PS4, but you fucking Xbox dick riders need to chill out. You're all fucking stupid at the end of the day. Anyone that dick rides a console is fucking stupid at the end of the day. Well, I'm not going to say that. Dick riding and fanboying enough to hate other people for liking another console is fucking stupid.
Yes.
But back to my point. Yeah, I felt like it was just a copy and paste of what Rocksteady had done in four of their titles, or I guess 3, because Montreal did Origins, that terrible game.
that really underrated game?
Overhyped.
Well,
No, I wouldn't say overhyped. I don't think
you're allowed to be wrong. It's okay.
I wouldn't say overhyped. I think I'm in the majority when I say I didn't like the game.
Yeah, you definitely are in the majority.
No, and I'm not even going to say I don't like it, dude. That's not it. It had problems that I feel like the other three didn't have.
Such as?
Mostly, it shit was buggy as hell.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's a fair criticism.
But like
a
you
lot
said
of people,
last time we fought about it. I also.
Oh yeah, I forgot that even happened. It's been so long.
I know, dude. We're on like fucking what episode? Technically, episode 7.
I mean, if we want to count even the failed episodes, we're probably somewhere in like the teens at this point.
Yeah, because we've had 3 failed episodes. So yeah, this is technically our 10th time recording.
Jeez.
Holy fucking shit, dude! And we're not making any money yet.
Nope, we don't make money.
Not yet, because there's only 4 people listening to this right now.
For real.
So go share it with your friends, you stupid bitch.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that, I mean, what you said is correct. I think that the combat system was copied and pasted from Rocksteady in the Arkham games. And I don't think that that's necessarily a problem, to be honest with you. I think that
it is and it's not.
So it is in the fact that it's like you could have done something different, but at the same time, it's like
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So.
Boy, I'm just burping a lot tonight.
Yeah, man. What the hell have you? Why you got so much gas, bro?
Probably this fucking beer that I drank.
God damn, what are you drinking?
Some good shit. That's what I'm drinking.
I wish I had some pineapple juice, bro. I'd be making cocktails right now. Dude, I make a mean fucking cocktail.
You make all right cocktails.
A fucking pineapple juice, grenadine, coconut rum, and Tito's vodka, and just a little bit of Sprite for carbonation.
Ooh, shit.
Fire. I make that shit on a nightly.
All right, the last thing that I've got here is the open world design, and I think that this is a perfectly fine open world. I don't have anything really bad to say about it. I guess again, if I'm being forced to level a criticism at it, I think that everything is noticeably on a sort of like a timer sort of thing. Like there aren't dynamic things that happen within the world. Like in Red Dead, for instance, which came out the same year, you could happen upon a deer out in the forest that if someone is doing the same exact thing that you're doing as Arthur in that game, they might not run across that deer or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like the open world in this is very scripted, and I don't again think that that's necessarily a problem. It's just like if I'm forced to level a criticism at it, that would be it.
It's definitely better than what I think the open world was in the Arkham titles.
I would say for the second 2 specifically, I don't really feel like Arkham Asylum is an open world. I mean, I guess technically I don't feel like it is.
I see what you're saying, though.
So, but the other 2 for sure are like 100% open world titles, and I agree. I
feel like Arkham Origins, back to that, was the worst offender of
that. You know what? Yeah, you're probably right. But I also feel like all 3 of those games in particular like have really empty open worlds, and it's not really like for any real purpose. Like I guess it is narratively for City and oh my god, Night.
Because for City, you were in Arkham City. It was a super prison, pretty much. It was a part of the city that had been demolished and was made into a super prison. So of course you're only going to find fucking criminals running the street. You're in a fucking prison. In Arkham Knight, they tell you at the beginning of the game that the entire city has been evacuated. Yeah. So okay.
So they get those.
You're explaining it.
Yeah. They give explanations for it, but it also just kind of like
But Arkham Origins gave no explanation to why it was as empty as it was. It was just empty.
Doesn't it all take place on one night though? Like it's all on Christmas Eve or some shit like that. So like it makes a bit more sense.
I guess.
But that's me just defending it because I like that game.
Stop defending it.
I know, right?
It has its problems.
Yeah,
it's a good game, but it has its problems.
It for sure has its problems. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I guess that kind of, wraps up most of what we're going to talk about with Spider-Man. I mean, do you have any thoughts on it or what you would like to see in like the next 2 games?
I would like to see the combat system fleshed out a little bit more than what we got.
Yeah.
I would like to see the skill system a little more. I would like to see the skill system a little more impactful than what I felt like it was.
Okay. Yeah.
And definitely, dear God, don't give me the same fucking suits to unlock, please. Oh fucking.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
But honestly, I don't know how they're going to top it because they have some bomb ass fucking suits in that game.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the. Don't get me wrong. I think the MCU version of the Iron Spider suit, I think it looks incredible. While I still think it also looks stupid at the same time. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed I like that they included both the MCU version and the original comic version of the Iron Spider. I thought that was really fucking cool. I've never used the comic book version because I've never played the DLC before. I do have it, and I do plan to play it. So I guess I can't really talk about DLC because I actually haven't played it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But what else? I would like to see some more of Spider-Man's more iconic rogue gallery. Like that's kind of a God damn it! I keep drawing comparisons to Arkham, but I can't fucking help it when they're almost the same damn thing. This Spider-Man was better. They rinsed and repeated a lot of the same villains over and fucking over, and that's not something I want to see Insomniac do. I want to see an almost completely different rogue gallery from what we got because there are still some amazing Spider-Man villains they could pull from.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, just naming off a few off the top of my head, we have Venom and Green Goblin, which I think they very clearly alluded to at the post-credit sequence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At least one, if not both. I think Sandman would be really cool. He was kind of hinted at in the game. One of the backpacks you pick up along the city has a little vial in it that when you click on it in the submenu, Peter's like, I don't know if opening this would release Sandman, but I better not find out or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Mysterio would be cool. The Lizard would be cool. He's called the Lizard, right? Pretty sure he's just called the Lizard. It's a name, but I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right.
I would like to see who else. I said Mysterio, the Lizard. I'd like to see like even Hydro Man would be fucking cool to me. I think that has potential to be a really cool fucking boss fight because he was pretty prominent in the animated series from the late 90s.
Yeah.
Please give me Kraven the fucking Hunter. That would be so cool. That would be so fucking cool. I'm just saying, if they casted Kraven the Hunter if they casted Jason Momoa as Kraven the Hunter in an MCU Spider-Man movie, I wouldn't be upset.
I mean,
I think that'd be pretty cool.
I don't think a lot of people would be upset with that, to be honest with you.
I think that'd be fucking Morbius would be tight, as long as it doesn't look like Jared fucking Leto.
Oh, that's something that really isn't. This was something that I was going to bring up in the news section last week before we decided we weren't going to do the news. It really kind of annoys me that they recasted the face of Peter to make it. They said they wanted. I don't remember what their exact fucking reasoning was, but it looks like knockoff Tom Holland.
It does, and I think it looks really bad, and I don't think that face fits the voice at all.
Yeah, no, and that's what they said that they were doing. They were trying to like get it to look closer to Yuri's voice or whatever.
I think they ended up doing the opposite.
Yeah, I agree because Yuri's voice is perfect for I think for what they had. Like personally,
Absolutely, and that is kind of disappointing that that's the version we're going to be seeing in Miles Morales.
yes.
So, but whatever, I guess. But since we're wrapping up the discussion, if you had to give the game a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
Probably a 9, like a solid 9. I don't think that
I was thinking a 9 or 9.5.
Yeah,
It's got some things that hold it back from being a perfect 10, but it's almost there.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though we literally had a whole episode talking shit about rating systems, but here we are, I guess, sticking to YouTube tropes.
Yep. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to what we've been playing.
Hell yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Melody of Memories, because that just came out, right?
It's not the full game, it's the demo.
Oh, okay.
It's the demo, and I fucking hate it. That's it. It's bad. It's not fun. It's probably the most boring rhythm game I've ever played.
It comes out the day after the. That's weird. That's a fucking Wednesday release date.
Yeah, dude. Kingdom Hearts release dates are weird.
Anyway,
pretty sure Kingdom Hearts 3 came out on a Wednesday too.
That's fucking weird.
But
so it's a rhythm game, right?
Yeah, it's a rhythm game set to different Kingdom Hearts soundtracks and even different Disney soundtracks. And I swear to fucking God, if Let It Go by Frozen is in that goddamn game, I'm going to lose my fucking brain. But the fucked up part is I know that it is because they went out of their way to do a Kingdom Hearts themed music video in Kingdom Hearts 3 for that goddamn song. So I know it's fucking there. I don't care. I had the game pre-ordered, and I'm not going to lie, I canceled my pre-order.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not paying $60 for that. It's a Kingdom Hearts game. I'll wait 3 months, and it'll be $20 on sale. So yeah. I'll fucking wait. Or it'll come to Game Pass for free.
Yeah.
But I get what they were going for. Well, no, fuck that. I'm not going to defend them. I don't understand what they were going for. That was a terrible idea.
Yeah, I've always never understood. Like they've done the same thing with Final Fantasy, and I don't.
They did it with Persona too.
Yeah, Persona. I feel like that's a weird universe anyway, because like Atlas has all these weird mini games in there, and it fits Persona a little bit more, I think.
Yeah,
but like it doesn't fit fucking Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy at all.
No, but I don't know. Well. I meant to type this down, but I'll just remember it when we get to the new section. There's some other. Well, I guess I could just fucking say it now. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore with this stupid series. They don't know what they're doing. The only thing Kingdom Hearts related that I'm even kind of stoked about is the fact that the developer for the franchise did an interview yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that there is a big announcement for for Switch fans for Kingdom Hearts coming soon. So
okay,
that means one of two things. That means A, they're porting the franchise to the Switch. I don't know if they're just going to do what they did on PS4 earlier this year and release the all-in-one bundle that I think retailed for $50, which for that many games, that's a steal.
I think originally it was a lot more expensive.
No, it was retailed for $50.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I got it on sale last Black Friday on the PS4 shop for like, I think it was like $80 and it was on sale.
So when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, like 6 months after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, they did a digital all-in-one bundle, and that was $100.
Okay.
And then earlier this year, they did a physical all-in-one bundle that was $50.
That makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
Yeah, so it's Kingdom Hearts. Those games don't maintain their value at all. But so that's exciting. Or we could be getting Sora and Smash, which I've been asking for since day one.
Yeah, they could definitely be doing that.
But honestly, I could see them doing both at the same time because then again, I don't know. They put fucking Joker in Smash, and there's not a single fucking Persona game on the Switch. So who fucking knows what Nintendo's doing? Nobody knows. They don't even know. They think of that shit as a day-by-day basis. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Like how they fucking announced Mario 3D All-Stars 2 weeks before they released that bitch.
Right.
They don't know what they're doing. But
Well, speaking of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, I've been playing Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
oh,
Specifically, God, I almost got caught up on that word.
specifically,
Yeah. Specifically, Super Mario 64, which, believe it or not, I've only played maybe a handful of times. I've never gone any farther than like maybe the first or second level.
it handles like shit on the Switch, doesn't it?
So
Oh no,
I'm gonna go a lot more in depth when I go with Hades. So I want to keep this relatively brief because I've only played it a little bit. I like 64, but I bought this package specifically so I could play Sunshine and Galaxy.
Okay.
Galaxy I've never been able to play before.
I've never played it either.
I've heard that it is the best Mario game, or at least the best 3D Mario game. So I've always wanted to play it. I love Sunshine, and I cannot wait to get to it. But I wanted to go through and play the games more like chronologically, I guess is the way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with 64, and I've gotten through the first 2 or 3 levels, and I don't have anything necessarily bad to say about Super Mario 64, the game. But I do have some bad stuff to say about this package.
I agree.
It baffles me. It straight up fucking baffles me that they didn't do anything to sort of modernize these ports. Super Mario 64, again, which is the one that I've been playing. I haven't played the other 2 yet, so I can't speak definitively to the whole thing. But 64, you can kind of control the camera, sort of, but it controls the way that it did on the N64. You couldn't have updated this to control better, where I can have the fucking camera kind of go around me the way that it does in the other like modern day 3D Mario titles. You couldn't have done that. Like or even if you wanted to, you could have stuck the fucking 3DS port of this game in here. I'm sure it's not that hard to port over. That had better graphics. It had better controls, from what I understand. Like
it did. It absolutely fucking did.
I don't understand. Like they basically just took a gussied up like fucking Wii version of Mario 64 and threw it in and said, "Here you go."
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they didn't touch the other 2 games, from what I understand, except for like mild upresing of the textures. And like, that's fine if that's what you're going to do, but you're charging $60 for this and you're basically not fucking touching them. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I think that as cool as it was of a bundle, I think it was extremely fucking lazy on Nintendo's part. It was an extremely lazy, guaranteed fucking cash grab.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't touched it anymore. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I love these games. Well, I say I love these games. I love Mario as a character, and I love the old Marios. So I'm going to continue to play through these because I want to go through and experience 64 because I've never really gone through it all the way. And I want to experience, Sunshine again, and I also want to experience what is considered the best modern day 3D Zelda game in Galaxy. So I'm going to keep playing through it, but it just kind of pisses me off that they threw this out there and said, "Here you go. You gotta take what we give you."
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably not gonna play the game anymore. I'm kind of done with it. I'm probably gonna wait till it gets vaulted and then sell it for as much as I can.
I mean, that's totally fair.
Honestly, that's kind of what I bought it for in the first place. So it's whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Tell me about Xenoblade 2, because that's the other game you've been playing.
Oh, bro. Well, that's a very confusing game to fucking talk about. But it's really good, dude. I'm getting back into it after taking a little. Fuck, dude. I say a little. It's been a long fucking hiatus. I started playing that game back in March and then didn't touch it again until today.
Jesus.
But it's really good. It's one of the most refreshing JRPGs that I've played in a long time. The combat system is really unique, whereas the combat system is entirely autopilot, but you have corresponding buttons to use like special attacks and shit like that. But as far as just like your normal, like just sword slash, it's all completely auto. You don't do anything.
Oh, damn.
So that kind of, on one hand, it takes away from the immersion, but on the other hand, it makes grinding a hell of a lot fucking easier.
Okay.
Because you will grind in Xenoblade. You have.
Yeah.
You fucking have to. If you don't, you're not going to have a good fucking time. I think the level scaling is kind of fucking weird in the game. Like, the area that I'm at, like, I'm like level 25. And I leave the town to go to the next town that I'm supposed to go to. And there's like a level 99 fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex looking fucking thing. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is this here? Why is this blocking my way? What am I supposed to do? But I mean, there are ways around it, but yeah, it was all fun and games when I found the way around it until there was another level 99 fucking demonic eagle fucking thing that comes down and kills me in one hit. So the level scaling is weird. The story's really cool. But you're going to want to change that audio because that dub is god fucking awful. Oh, it's so bad. I don't know what the fuck Nintendo... I don't know. The developer, the studio that did the voice acting, I don't know what the fuck they thought green-lighting that dub. I don't know what was going through their minds. I don't know if they thought it actually sounded good, but holy shit. Whoever listened to that dub track and was like, nope, this is good, they're a fucking idiot. Because that shit... Did you think Digimon Adventure dub is rough? Play fucking Xenoblade 2 dubbed. You'll change your opinion real goddamn quick. That shit is rough. God, I feel like I've only been talking shit about things tonight. Jesus. I don't know. It's a good game, though. I've got probably 10 hours on it, and from what I know, it's like 60 hours long. It's a typical JRPG. It's 60 hours long, and you kill what's basically God, so...
Okay.
What's a JRPG if you don't kill the game's equivalent to God?
Right. Yeah.
You know? Name one JRPG that's not like that.
I mean, they're few and far in between.
You fucking can't. Maybe Pokemon, maybe.
Right.
That's about it. But it's good. The Xenoblade franchise is really cool. I appreciate that Nintendo totally could have put microtransactions in this game and didn't.
Yeah.
I think it's really fucking cool of them. So there, I think I've explained it probably 13 episodes ago. But there's a system called the Blade system, and basically you get these crystals, and you open the crystal up, and you get a blade, which is kind of a partner that attacks with you. Yeah. And gives you different weapons and different abilities and stuff. The blades can be anything from a mechanical tiger to a anime chick with obnoxiously huge titties. There's no in between there. It's Japan. Nobody cares. But they could have totally put microtransactions in there, and they didn't, and I really appreciate that. But then again, if you buy the season pass, you get so many of them that it doesn't even fucking matter.
Okay.
So, but good game. Check it out. Unfortunately, it's still $60, but yeah, I think the shit's been out for as long as the Switch has been out, and it's still $60.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It's a Nintendo first party, so what do you expect?
Yep.
So,
what do you expect, sir?
That's it for me, G.
Cool. Well,
God, this is weird without Dylan.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like, I'm not the only one thinking that. This is odd.
Well,
I wonder what he's doing.
Almost done. So the last game on our list, the one that I've been playing, and I talked to you guys about this yesterday, is Hades. So this is from Supergiant Games, the guys who made Transistor and Bastion, which I think are both really great. I haven't sunk enough time into it to really have like full-fledged thoughts on it. So
I feel that.
It's going to be something that I'll probably bring up again next week.
Okay.
But it's a roguelike RPG where you play as Zagreus, I think is how you say it. Mm-hmm. He's the son of Hades, and basically the whole game, what you're trying to do is you're trying to escape hell and your father, or well, I shouldn't say hell, the underworld, and your father, who is Hades, and you're trying to get up to Mount Olympus with the other, Greek gods. And so, as is the case with any roguelite, basically it's a run-based game. So you're going to try your best to get through as much of the game as possible in a given run, and then you take the knowledge and the skills that you gain from that run back to your next run, and so on and so forth until you beat the game.
I feel that.
And so I don't particularly like most of those games because I kind of start to feel like I'm just beating my head against a wall, and it annoys me. But Hades just feels different, I feel like. The combat is really, really fun, and like I said, I haven't gotten really far into it, so I don't know like all the different combinations, but like at the beginning of each run, you're visited by one of the gods from Olympus, and they give you access to a power, and then like you can take that power and like upgrade it through the rest of your run. And some of the powers are really cool and really fun, and they actually give you like, so like Zeus, his little thing is like thunder, obviously.
Yeah.
But they give you like 3 separate things that you can do with the thunder ability, where like you can add like damage to your dash attacks, or your range attacks actually have like a wider cone of influence, or not influence. I don't know why the fuck I said that.
Okay.
Anyway, but like each of the gods adds like a little extra like wrinkle to the gameplay, and it's randomized each run. But the game is gorgeous. Like, I think it looks really, really beautiful. It's kind of got I don't want to say hand drawn or hand painted aesthetic, but it kind of feels like that. It's very similar, and the music is great, and the voice acting is superb. Like, it's very, very good. The guy who does I think I'm butchering this, Zagreus, I think he's really great, and the guy who does Hades is really, really great. So, but yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. I need to have more time with it before I can kind of like get final thoughts or whatever. But
yeah,
it's only $25. I think it's worth the $25 from what little I've played with it.
Cool. I might have to check it out. I'm not too big of a fan of roguelikes, but I'll give it a good old fashioned whirl.
Yeah, give it the college try or whatever.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so we both brought some news to the table. Mine's going to be really brief. I just thought that this was
mine's going to be pretty brief too.
Cool. So mine is basically just a bunch of Dead by Daylight news, and it all happened within the last couple days. They finally announced their Halloween event. It's called the Eternal Blight event, and basically they're going to have some cosmetic stuff that will be for certain killers and certain survivors. Oh, excuse me. But they gave a little like teaser that was like really fucking gruesome, and I really liked it. And I think they are going to do some other stuff. Like they're probably, I don't know if they're doing their blood hunt like they used to for all the events that they had, where like they would give you like double blood points and shit like that. But either way, it looks kind of cool, and I'm excited about that.
Hell yeah.
The other stuff that they alluded to was that they are Tone 5 which basically that's their season. Tome 5 is coming soon. They didn't give an actual date, I don't think, but it should be coming probably, I would think, probably around the time that the Halloween event is ending, because it's usually about every 3 months that they do a new tome and a new rift and everything.
Cool.
And then the last thing was they finally gave word on their cross progression. They've had crossplay open for, I think, 2 months now between all platforms. And they, at the time when they announced it, they were like, okay, we're also working on cross progression, and we'll have more on that later. As of right now, it is only going to be available for Steam, the Steam version and the Google Stadia version.
Mm-hmm.
And basically you are going to make your own, what is the word that I'm looking for? Behavior, which is the developer. You're going to make your own like behavior account, and then that's going to link the two, kind of the way that you do with most of the other games that are like cross progression or whatever.
Yeah.
So right now they've got it working on Stadia and Steam, but it's also supposed to be coming to Switch sometime by the end of the year, I think is what they had initially announced. So that's cool, and
that'll be fucking great whenever they finally do that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they are working on the Xbox and PlayStation versions also, because that's where I started playing. That's where I started like to fall in love with the game. So anyway, yeah, super short news for me, but I just thought it was, I mean, I play this game and I know that you play this game, and I thought it would be beneficial to just talk about it.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah,
that's all really cool fucking shit that they're doing. So hopefully everything goes good.
Yeah,
hopefully we get Xbox soon, because that would be fucking great.
Yeah, for real. Spend all that time on Xbox and not be able to carry things over.
Yeah, starting over on PC was difficult.
Yeah.
But
all right, cool. Well, how about you tell me about Crown Tundra?
Cool. So the Crown Tundra releases sometime Thursday. They're going for a worldwide time period, so we don't exactly know when that's going to be.
Okay.
I think from what we know, U.S. players will get the update that'll actually unlock the expansion. I think sometime around 10 or 10:30 at night.
Okay.
So that's a really weird fucking time, because that's why I was confused. Because there were some trailers saying the 22nd and there were some trailers saying the 23rd.
Okay.
At the end of the day, both are actually right. Because for us, it is coming out on the 22nd, but for like Japan, it's technically coming out on the 23rd.
Okay.
So that's really fucking cool. I'm excited to fucking play it. There's been some new information that's trickled out over the last couple of days that it's a good thing, but it's also not a good thing. And that is the fact that I know when we talked about the Crown Tundra and gave our little news spiel about it, we had brought up the new feature called the Dynamax Adventure. We now know that the legendary Pokemon encountered in the Dynamax Adventure actually have a 100% catch rate.
Oh, shit.
And that leads me to believe one thing, that they're going to be really fucking hard. That's the only reason they would do that, is if they're going to be really fucking hard. It also makes sense now that we know that you are actually not going to be able to bring your own Pokemon into the Dynamax Adventure raids. There's a rental service. You use rental Pokemon. You do not use your own. You use a list out of like 6, I think, that you pick one of the 6 to carry you through the entire thing. So, oh God. We'll see how that goes. I'm really fucking stoked for it. I think the Crown Tundra looks like it's going to be definitely the better of the 2 expansions. with the Crown Tundra, we've already gotten the data mine. We know every Pokemon that's going to be available in the Crown Tundra, with the likes of fan favorites of Dragonite, Metagross, Garchomp. All the legendaries are coming back. A handful of mythicals, and the Gen 3 starters are going to make a return. So we're going to trying to see. And dude, this is so stupid. I read the most ridiculous fucking theory that sounds like so much of a reach that it might actually be plausible. So everybody wants Diamond and Pearl remakes. That's what we've been asking for fucking 4 or 5 years at this point. The Crown Tundra is based off of the fact that in the UK, for the royal family and like ceremonies and stuff like that, they have what are called the crown jewels. And they are some of the most pristine, beautiful, and expensive jewels, jewelry pieces that exist in the fucking world. The one of them, it's the crown of something that I'm not gonna try to remember because I have no fucking clue. It is embedded with emeralds, rubies, sapphires, diamonds, and pearls.
Oh Lord.
You see what I'm saying? See what I'm doing? Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald for the Gen 3 starters coming back. Diamond and Pearl remakes confirmed. Is that what we're hearing? Is that what's happening? Probably not, because it's Nintendo and they don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. I'm convinced. But Crown Tundra looks cool. From what I saw too, I don't know if this is real or not, but I saw it today. Apparently the shiny versions of the new Galarian birds have leaked. And the shiny versions are actually homages to the original forms. They have the original form color scheme, but they're still the Galarian forms.
Oh.
And I thought that was real. I don't know if that's real or not. I haven't dug too deep into that. But as far as the Crown Tundra goes, I'm fucking excited. And I'm going to play the shit out of it. And that's it, man. I don't know how I feel about that Dynamax thing, though. That's not gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to get all the fucking homies together one night. We're all just gonna have to grind through that shit.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's the only way you're gonna be able to fucking do it. It also, the last trailer they released also leads me to theorize that the Galarian birds will actually be roaming around the Crown Tundra.
Oh, that kind of like the dogs in Silver.
Yes.
Gold? Okay.
Yeah, they'll be roaming because from what we've seen in the last trailer, there were different shots of the player moving through different areas of the Crown Tundra, and it's almost like they were chasing the Galarian Articuno. So We're like, what if this is a roaming, but it's actually an overworld roaming encounter?
Okay.
I think that would be really cool. As of right now, there are no updates as to if certain legendary Pokemon will be version exclusive. We don't know if the new Regis will be version exclusive. It's Nintendo, and they want to make as much money possible, so I have to imagine that they will be. But at the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see in 48 hours. So
for sure,
it's coming soon.
All right,
that wraps it up for that topic.
Yeah, so let's get on our picks of the week and get out of here.
Cool.
Mine is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse to tie into the
fantastic movie
episode. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't have a whole lot of things to say about it other, that haven't been said before. It was my favorite movie of 2018 alongside my favorite game of 2018, so that was kind of funny. But Is it
really your favorite movie of 2018?
Yeah, dude.
Really?
It was very.
It's a good movie.
I honestly couldn't say enough about it. Like
the cinematography of that movie alone is impeccable.
Yes, I agree so hard with that.
I watched a whole interview about how they did some of the frames for that movie. And being the cinephile that you are, I'm sure this is not fucking news to you. I thought it was really interesting how every other character of in the movie was animated at 60 frames per second, while Miles Morales was animated at less than 30 frames per second. But it gets better. He gets a higher frame rate as the movie progresses.
Yeah.
to show that he's learning how to be Spider-Man and he's becoming more graceful.
Yeah.
In like his web swinging and his fighting and stuff like that. And I think that's fucking dope. I think that is really fucking cool.
I agree.
I love the movie. Madison loved the movie. Josie fucking adores that movie. She thinks it's so cool.
Dude, it is so good.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, there's not much I can say, like I said, that hasn't already been said. It's beautiful to look at. It's a really, really heartwarming, or well, not necessarily heartwarming, but like it tugs on the heartstrings.
Yeah, absolutely.
The story, and yeah, I love it. Go check it out.
It's great
on Netflix.
Also, the soundtrack for that movie was complete fire.
I think the score is really good. I don't like the soundtrack all that much, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, like
Dude,
the
fucking
Post
Sunflower.
Malone, yeah,
stop it. That's a great song, and stop
it's whatever.
it. Don't even try to shit talk that.
Yeah,
I will not stand for it, sir.
All right, you and your Post Malone love. Tell me about whatever the fuck it is that you've got written down.
It's because I look as dirty as he is. That's why I love him.
That sounds about right.
You know how many people have told me that I look like him, and I'm like, you're calling me dirty. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of my face. My pick of the week is a singer or entertainer. I'm just a singer. Her name is Emily, and she does English anime intro covers.
Oh.
And I think that's super cringy. I think 90% of the time that is the most cringiest fucking shit. However, she does such a good job at taking these songs and almost remixing them to the point where you recognize them, but they sound more original. Like she puts her own kind of spin on every song that she does.
Okay.
She's done every song from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. She's done every song from My Hero. She did the theme song for Evangelion, which was amazing because that's the greatest anime that's ever been made. And tell me that is not the most iconic anime opening.
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
So good. So fucking good. But yeah, she's really cool. I enjoy that kind of stuff. Like I said, I think anime covers are typically some of the cringiest shit on the fucking internet, but when they're done right, they come out really cool. So definitely check that out. And that's my pick of the week.
Awesome. Well, that's it for us. That's our show.
Thank God, I'm tired as fuck.
Yeah, this is our quickest episode ever, and probably because we didn't have a third person. You're fired, Dylan.
We didn't have Dylan interrupting with all his bullshit.
He's gonna hear this and be like, "Fuck you guys."
I'm just kidding. You were missed. Not a lot, but not enough.
Agreed. All right. So you can find us on all the social media things, blah, blah, blah. Our podcast Twitter is at Pixels Hunting. Our Instagram is at hunting_pixels CB. You can find me on Twitter at the BebopMan182 and Instagram at BebopMan182. Dylan, who is not here to speak for himself, is at OMDizzy on Instagram and Twitter. Austin, goddamn you. I hate saying this every time. Your Twitter is at Kakashi690, spelled just like the is he a rapper? I don't know.
He's a terrible rapper.
I wouldn't even call that a rap, but
pedophile is the best word to use, I think.
That's probably about right. And your Instagram is at BigPapaStevens_.
Yes, and I also have a gaming Instagram set up that has no posts yet, but it is Big Papa Plays, which is the same as my YouTube channel that has no content yet. And I know I said I was going to record after this podcast, but that's not fucking happening because I'm tired as hell. Hopefully, by the time you guys hear, hopefully by the time any of the 3 people that listen to this episode hear this, there will be an episode up. But honestly, don't fucking count on it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty lazy this week.
Yeah, I am.
Also, bear in mind, I'm working every fucking day until Thanksgiving, so
yeah,
it's going to be kind of hard for me to push it out.
These are going to be some fun episodes. to record.
God, I'm gonna be so tired
Right.
all the time.
All right. One thing also, Dylan has a YouTube channel. His is I keep forgetting. Is it OM Dizzy or is it OM Dizzy TV?
I think it's just OM Dizzy. Let me look.
I think it is too, but I just want.
It might be TV. I don't know.
No, it's just OM Dizzy.
Okay. Wow, you found that a hell of a lot quicker than I did.
Yeah, he has some new Pokemon Shield Let's Plays up.
Oh,
yeah, he just uploaded one yesterday, and
I guess I'll go watch it.
So he's got that going on. I'm working on a script for my YouTube channel, or I guess it'll eventually be our YouTube channel, sort of, kind of.
Something like that.
Yeah, the script is almost finished, and then I'll start working on filming and editing stuff together. So fun times. Go check that out. Yeah, but we're going to get out of here so Austin can get some sleep.
Thank fucking God.
Yeah. So for Austin and Dylan, I am your host, the Bebop Man. Goodbye.